Apple just had their biggest event of the year, releasing 4 brand new iPhones. We have the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Air, iPhone 17 Pro, and of course the iPhone 17 Pro Max, with the prices ranging from $800 all the way up to $2,000. That is quite a big range. So you're probably thinking which iPhone is worth the money. So everyone's use cases might be different. So at the end of this video, hopefully you'll know which iPhone is best for you. So what is quite interesting about this iPhone lineup is that they all seem to have some of the features that were previously in Pro models. All the new iPhones have the same display, ProMotion 120Hz display, pretty much meaning that all the same quality. The only difference is going to be based on the size depending on which iPhone you get. Phones all have the camera button and also the action button. They all have a variation of the A19 chip. The iPhone 17 has an A19, with the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max having the A19 Pro chip, but I guarantee most people won't even notice the difference. When it comes to the cameras, they all have the same front-facing camera, 80 megapixels with that center stage. They all have the same main sensor. This is the 48 megapixel fusion camera. We'll start with the iPhone Air, which only has the 48 megapixel sensor. However, it has this dual camera mode, which allows it to get a 2x zoom, so the quality will still be good. Then when we go to the iPhone 17, this now has the additional ultra wide lens. And then finally, the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Maxes have that triple display, which gives us the 48 megapixel fusion main, the 48 ultra wide, and then the third sensor, which is the 48 megapixel telephoto lens. Let's start with Apple's biggest surprise of the day, which was the iPhone 17 Air. This is Apple's lightest and thinnest phone ever, coming in at 5.6 millimeters, 165 grams. With the super thin design, don't expect it to be lacking in functionality, because it actually has the same A19 chip that we see in all the iPhone 17s this year, but also has this new N1 chip, so it's going to get the fast Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 6, and all of the latest networking features. But the compromise of the iPhone Air is the fact it only has one sensor compared to the other iPhones which have 2 or 3. But however, don't get misled by only having one camera sensor, because it still has that 48 megapixel fusion sensor, which acts like 2 sensors in one, because you still get a 2x zoom, which is still gonna look sharp and create great photos. But when we look at the front camera, which is the same front camera across all iPhones, they all are 80 megapixels with something called center stage. So essentially with center stage, it pretty much means you're always going to be in frame. And because the sensor is a new shape, it now is able to adapt and adjust based on what's in frame. So if I'm taking a photo with myself and somebody jumps into the frame, the iPhone will automatically adjust to a new dimension to make sure everyone still fits in, and still take a horizontal photo or video whilst holding the phone vertically. Just because you have a thinner iPhone, this does not mean you're going to be sacrificing on battery life. And just because the iPhone Air is the thinnest iPhone ever, don't think the battery is a compromise. And Apple is expecting the battery to last for 27 hours of video playback, but when the iPhone comes out, this is something that will be tested. So who is the iPhone Air for? In my eyes, I think it's for the person that wants that minimalistic, sleek, cool looking phone that packs a punch. It doesn't have all the great features of the Pro, but it is slightly better than the model iPhone 17. You're not going to get the triple cameras you see in the iPhone Pro, and you're also not going to get that second lens that you see in the iPhone 17. So the iPhone 17 base model is basically the balanced sweet spot where you get, I think it's the best bang for your buck when it comes to an iPhone. And the camera system is a slight step up. It's going to have the exact same main sensor as the iPhone Air. Those 2 sensors alone is going to cover 90% of the needs of most people, and I don't feel like it's missing out on any of the major features. So for most people, this iPhone is pretty much for everyone, and we could basically say it's the Goldilocks option. It's not too thin, it's not too bulky, it's not too expensive. This is the iPhone that has everything you need and has taken some pro features from previous models. So Apple, I'll be honest with you, this is probably the best lineup we've ever given us. Finally, let's get to the beast of the day. This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This iPhone is built for creators, professionals, and the hardcore users. You've got the triple lenses. You got a main, an ultra, and a telephoto zoom. So for the first time ever, the iPhone Pros have an 8x telephoto zoom. Plus all of these new amazing Pro features. You can now shoot at 4K 120, ProRes RAW, log recording. So all 3 sensors are 48 megapixels. So whether you have the macro, wide, or close-ups, you're gonna get super sharp photos. This is the biggest battery life we've seen in the iPhone 17 ever. When it comes to performance with that new A19 chip, this is the most powerful iPhone we've ever seen. I know we say it's year on year, but reality is this definitely is the most powerful iPhone ever. However, what I will add is this is the first iPhone to get vapor cooling inside. Basically a cooling system for the iPhone to prevent it from overheating. So the iPhone is now less likely to overheat. So when it comes to choosing the right iPhone for you, I would say there's 5 categories to consider. Number 1, and probably the most important, is price. How much budget do you have available and how much you want to spend on your phone, either per month or if you buy buy it outright. The iPhone 17 starts at $799, which is the cheapest iPhone, and the iPhone Pro Max goes all the way up to $2,000, and then the iPhone Air starts at $1,000. The second most important thing is camera versatility. How important is it that you have a versatile camera? Because the iPhone Air only has one lens, whereas the iPhone 17 has two. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is all about 3 great cameras. Third is how portable and how comfortable do you want it to be in your hand. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is obviously a lot bigger than the iPhone 17 Pro, and the iPhone 17 Air is super light, and then of course the iPhone 17 will feel super smooth and comfortable for most people. The next question you should ask is about the battery life. Are you a heavy user or a casual user? How long do you need your battery to actually last for? Because let's be honest, most people charge their phone overnight or first thing in the morning, so it usually lasts most of the day. And this now comes on to this final point, which is, are you a heavy user or a casual user? If you're like a content creator, you create a bunch of content, you're a heavy user, you play a lot of games on your phone, etc., then the iPhone Pro is going to be a no-brainer, purely because of that A19 Pro chip, the cooling system, and all these other Pro features that just makes the phone run a lot smoother, faster, and better. So those are a few questions to ask yourself before you decide. If your budget is a priority, that will obviously dictate your decision. If you have a low budget, iPhone 17 is a no-brainer. If you have a bigger budget and you're happy to spend more, then you can consider other options as other priorities. At the end of the day, a phone is a personal device, so take your time, consider the options, and think about what is a priority from your phone, and I'm sure that will help you make a better decision. So I'm going to be pre-ordering my iPhone on Friday, and I'll be doing unboxing and a bunch of content when that comes out, so make sure you're subscribed and locked in when we release those iPhone videos.